right, dude. It looks like we're live right now, and if you guys can tell, this isn't the sportsman, and I'm definitely not the sportsman. I'm
I'm
no.
nowhere near.
uh, yeah, I think Fabian's more of the outdoorsman, but Fred's actually he is coming. It's not any kind of clickbait here we got going on. It's really he's running a few minutes late. He just messaged me. He's actually traveling down to the island, and he got caught up on some things over there. And so he's like, hey man, it took me a little bit longer to get here, and he's just getting set up. But he'll be dialed in a little bit, and then well, Manja as we had over here too. Uh, he got caught up at work too. I mean, I can imagine people are pretty busy right now, running around and trying to take care of
It's crazy right
some
now,
kind of
man.
hurricane stuff. So, how did you end up after the hurricane?
No, we ended up pretty. I mean, as well as guys could be. I mean, I think we got hit pretty hard. We actually experienced the eye and both bands and all. So yeah, we got hit pretty hard. But no, I mean, we fared out pretty well. Just trying to deal with the I guess the recovery of it now and move forward.
Yeah. Yeah, I
So
mean, I
yeah,
know a lot of people. I think a lot of people are just getting power. Like it's taken a while
yeah.
for that to happen. And how long were you without power, man?
I got power yesterday about 1, 2 o'clock.
Okay. Yeah, it was
Yeah, so 3 days roughly.
3 days. I heard some people are just getting power right now. So it's
Yeah.
it's definitely taking a little bit longer than it has in the past. But
I mean, I think Magic Valley started with what 80,000. They said
oh man,
80,000 without light, and I mean they moved as fast as they could. I mean, yeah, it's frustrating for us, but at the end of the day, hindsight is we don't see that part. And I think they had a lot of people actually come in from out of town to help them out. A lot of linesmen, to kind of get things going. But grateful we have it back for sure.
yeah, I saw different people post different things that man, I'm trying to get this working. Sorry about that. Yeah, it took a little bit here, but I saw different people posting videos that they were traveling up north and they could see all these convoys headed down. So
Yeah,
so it's pretty good, pretty excited. I got some chills watching that and seeing what that was going to be. So um,
yeah. I mean, we got hit, man. So finally, I mean, not finally, but it's cool to see people come down and help and do what they can. Just basic human instincts, man.
help out where you can, man. Help out
Yeah,
when you can and
yeah,
where you can. So, what's up,
yeah.
TJ? We got TJ's up here in the house. Victor's the drink man, and Borracho Fishing's out there. He drinking some beer. So, you guys may have missed it. Definitely the sportsman. He's on his way right now. And rather than keep you guys waiting, Fabian and I would figure we'd come on and try to entertain you with maybe a few knock knock jokes. You know anyone? Any dad
I don't know,
jokes?
man.
I've got one dad joke and it's not very good, but it's the only one I have, and my daughter knows it on point. So I may throw it around for a little bit later. But hey guys, what about TJ? Where are you calling from? You still down at the island? I know you're out there watching here, and how do you guys make it? I mean, I know people at the island, Royal City, Port Mansfield, they got beat pretty bad there, man.
Yeah, I know these guys. I know Port Mansfield for sure. I think I saw him, Mr. McBride. His house got hit pretty hard, and I was talking to Tim today because I mean we have that Valley Boys thing going on there with Texas Boys in November. I'm like, man, those people are gonna have to. A lot of them had to rebuild completely,
Yeah.
but I guess they have enough time.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah. What's the so anyone been out to Port Mansfield lately? Have you heard anything about that? What does that look like?
I haven't heard anybody. Normally, I mean, the people who came to the shop, no one's been fishing. That's the funny thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, at least in the last few days, obviously, the Monday and Tuesday was pretty bad, but a lot of them were getting ready for the weekend. The weekend's supposed to be pretty nice.
Yeah. Looks like I've got Victor calling me. Maybe we should answer Victor. Let's see what he's Victor saying. Hey, what's up, Victor?
What's up, guys?
Yeah, no, actually, let me call you into the other line there so I can go back with Faith. Actually, yeah, let me do that. So I'm jumping around back and
All right,
forth here on this, but I'll call you back in a few minutes
all
from
right,
the other line. So, all right.
all right.
And I think just like that, I lost everybody. So let me call Fabian back in here. And sorry about that. We're jumping around a lot here. That's the Skype noise right there. That's the Skype call. So Yeah, so it was Victor. He's driving around, man. He's looks like he's busy taking care of people. So, but he looks like he's got a few minutes here to catch up with us and see what's going on with him. So, let me bring him out as well too, man.
Borracho's fishing. A tornado touched down in Brownsville, past about 100 yards from my grandmother's house. Thanks.
Jeez, man.
Yeah, I know for sure. I know we experienced some tornadoes for sure. We had some. We had at least 20 mesquites literally get out from the roots.
Oh wow.
You can see the roots actually throwing up. I was like, man.
Yeah.
What's going on, fellas? How y'all doing, man?
What's up, dude?
Damn, this guy cut his hair and everything.
I know, dude. He's he looks good, looking good, dude.
Coming to you live from my troca on my way home, man. I just got out of work, man.
How was work, dude? What are you busy around with the hurricane stuff, or what's that like?
It's been crazy, bro. I should have listened to my dad. I should have gone to la escuela. You should have gone to la escuela, way.
So what they have you doing today?
Just doing my same thing, going out there and helping customers out. They need help with, roofing, AC units, gutters, fencing. A lot of generators right now, based of, people being without light. So that's what I've been going out and giving bits out and stuff like that. Windows. So it's busy, man.
Yeah, I heard
Joseph
that.
Joseph Boda's requesting that we just get you off the air right now.
Oh yeah.
Nobody wants to see Victor.
I just wanted to say hi, Joe.
Oh, there you go. That's what a nice guy, man. So.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Might be kind of loud in my truck. Like I said, I'm driving, man. So I just let me join a little bit while I got connection, because I know I'm gonna lose connection pretty soon here. Once I enter into Dana, it's done.
Yes. Yeah. No.
It's called Donna. It's done.
So Victor, what's the fishing word, man? People out there fishing, or people running around trying to what's the word? Anyone been on the water lately?
Man, the last time I went was before the storm hit, and the fish have been good. The fishing have been really good. But I haven't gone since the storm hit. But I have seen some guys going out there. The water's murky, but they've still been catching some pretty good fish. I saw a poster. They did pretty good. It looked like they found a little bit more greener water, and they did really good.
Yeah. So if anybody hears that banging, that's going on there at Fabian's house.
That's at my house.
That's at Fabian's house. So
They're tarping my roof right now.
Oh yeah. So yeah, Fabian.
What was that?
They're putting a tarp on my roof, so you'll hear a bunch of banging in my house.
Oh,
Yeah.
sure.
So what happened at your house there, Fabian? What all did you see get?
Again, I think we went right through the eye, man, and I think this is the second time that happens. Dolly did the same thing, and this one did the same thing. But my kids got to experience it a little more. I mean, unfortunately and fortunately, but they got to feel about 2.5, 3 hours of just calmness, eerie calmness. And then I told them, we'll get ready for the next band. And sure enough, man, we got hit again, on the opposite side. But a lot of my roof shingles came off. We have about 2 rooms that are completely soaked. Lost my stables 100%. So I got a little bit of damage, man, but we'll take care of it.
Yeah. So you'll
It's
be out
pretty
there.
cool, man. I'll take the time to say this on this one, man. I got a lot of messages from customers, and it's really, really awesome, man, to hear that and see that. Like, hey, you need any help? We'll go out there. I mean, you're talking 10, 11 o'clock, man. Just messages like, hey, whatever you need, man, we'll go out there and help you clean up and stuff. And I'm like, damn, these are people I just met,
Yeah, I messaged them too. I was like, hey, you got my shirt ready?
That's exactly what you
I
messaged
know.
me.
He's all like, yeah, like who cares that you're getting water inside your house? You got my, let's get my shit ready right there. So.
Yeah, man. I had a leak. I had a roof leak, and my fence came down. All the front fence came down. But what scared me the most was I thought my RV was gonna flip over, man.
Where'd
I
you
really
have it
thought
there?
it
You had
was,
it, you had it there at your house, or you had it somewhere else?
Yeah, I had it at my house, and I had it, east and west, and the way the wind was hitting it, it was rocking it. And I was like, man, this thing's gonna flip, and it's gonna land on my boat.
And,
I was like,
did,
yeah.
and
So I
what
was holding it with my hands, and I was like, it didn't go anywhere.
what, both the RV and the boat, or you're holding them both together, or?
Both, bro. Like I was
Yeah,
like,
one
freaking
with each
dancing,
arm?
like, oh. didn't go anywhere. I got another mancha because of that,
Oh yeah.
but it wasn't in my hand.
And Joe's saying you lost some gulp, so you were digging around for some gulp somewhere, or what's the word on that? What was
No,
that?
when the storm took 2 packs of AM lures and I went looking for them in the ditches. I found them. I found them.
Oh yeah, that's what it was, huh? So you were out there finding some some of your
Yeah.
AM lures. So, well, I hope everybody
Sure.
everybody's out there. TJ's saying that he's been out fishing. He says the trout bite's been good. He started on Tuesday and it's going through today. I'm actually pretty excited. I'm actually gonna try to get some fishing in this week, and I haven't been fishing since. Oh man, I can't even remember. So,
You're coming down?
yeah, I'm gonna be heading down tomorrow.
To the valley.
To the valley, yeah, and I'll be there I'll come back Sunday, and I'm gonna try to get on the water Saturday. So we'll see if that happens. I don't know. So, but I definitely have that itch to kind of get out there. But as you guys know, I sold my boat, so I no longer have a boat, and my little skiff is up in Corpus area right now. So that's an option. But
So you sold the boat then?
yeah, I did, man. It went a lot faster, and it was there's a saying around a boat that it's the best day and your best day of your life and the worst day of your life. I don't remember. It's the best day of your life is the day you buy your boat, and then whatever, it sucks to have a boat. I think
There's
that's
some saying. I don't know. What it is.
somebody tell me what the saying is, but there's a saying out there, and the gist of it is that you buy a boat, you're happy about it, and then as soon as you own the boat, you're like, what did I get myself into? It's something happens, and something happens. Whether you're taking in water, or you have a hole in your gas tank, whether you did it yourself because you were, whatever it is. So, but things happen, right? And so there's a lot of joy. People kind of like this weight that's lifted off your shoulders when you finally sell your boat. But that wasn't the case for me, man. Like honestly, like I almost cried when when that boat left. It was a bitter. It was a very sad day. It didn't feel real, and it still doesn't feel real. And I don't know, man. I just think yeah, whatever. So, but I'll be.
Yeah, we can't be friends no more, bro.
Yeah, I know, right? So as soon as I got rid of my boat, I don't have any friends anymore. But when I had my boat, oh yeah, let's go fishing, let's go fishing. And then, but TJ saying he's got something going on out here. TJ says vamos. So TJ, I might hit you up, man, if it ends up happening here. If you're open out there, I do have. One of my buddies did invite me. I was exaggerating here. There it is. Only two things about a boat: the day you buy it, and the day you sell it. So that's the way the saying goes out there. So, boat bend over another 1,000. Right? There's a lot of things out there.
I think it's bust. I think it's bust out. I don't think it's bend over. I think it's bust out another 1,000. Just thinking.
Yeah. So Ruby Fred is coming, or at least he. That's his last message out here. So he was like, "Hey, I'm here getting to Port Isabel, and I'll be there in a few minutes." He's. I gotta have it too.
Man,
Thanks a lot for that, Ruby. I
Yeah.
guess you didn't want to see us today.
Yeah, I know.
But
So
okay.
it's like, and Victor doesn't look like Fred, so it's a tough sell out there. So we really
gotta have it, guys.
Gotta have
Hey,
it.
so you know what I'm looking forward to? I'm looking forward to going fishing with Joe, man. I have never been on an airboat, and I'm looking forward to actually going out with him on his airboat and doing some fishing, man.
So when's this
gonna
gonna happen that I don't know about?
Has he invited you, or are you just looking
He
forward to
hasn't
it?
invited me. He hasn't invited me, but I want to put it out there. Man, I got him motivated, you know.
Well,
So-
Joe just said no, man. He said.
I already told him if he texts me, I'll get him a whole box of hand lures all to himself. Brand new.
So Joe, you're on the spot. The ball's on your court here. But
Joe has no spots. Joe will say no. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, Joe said book a trip, man. So there you got it. You tell him
Favorite.
So yeah, just go ahead and reach out to him and you can book it. But yeah. So I've seen he's been out on that airboat a lot lately. Just him running around, and it looks. I mean, I've seen pictures of it, but I just like I guess that those guides. What do you call it? It's almost like a rudder. Is that what you call them? On the back of that airboat, he's got that. That rudder.
Oh, the ones that got the flag? That's
Yeah,
cool,
that
man.
looks cool, man. I I knew he was running around in an airboat specifically around duck hunting season. I know.
One day I was out there fishing, and I saw I could hear the damn boat, right? I could hear it from miles away. And like I get closer and I start taking a video, and it's freaking Joe. And I knew it was Joe just because of the flags in the bag. And I took a video, and I sent it to him, and he's like, "Damn, bro, stop stalking me."
Well, he saw you
Yeah,
was
that-
you,
that-
and he stopped. He went around. He didn't want to have anything to do with
We
you.
went wade fishing. We went wade fishing South Mansfield, and my buddy got there before I did. And we always fish the shoreline, maybe 30, 40 yards in, and see what we can get out of there. And the guy, my buddy's like, "Yeah, man." He goes, "Well, we had an airboat just burn the shoreline, so we're done with that." And I turn around and I see Joe's truck. I was like, "Yep, that's Joe."
Yeah, it's kind of hard to miss that boat. And let me see if I can pull up a picture of it for anyone that hasn't seen it here. But
Hey,
yeah.
if he's still on the hearing us, looking at us, I want to give a shout out to Joe, man. He got damaged in his home. He just hesitated to go out and help. He had leaks, but he was out there on his airboat helping people get out, man.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, so this is
He
my.
probably doesn't want to. I had thoughts with Joe all the time, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Yeah,
And
so,
then when he starts talking shit about AM lures, then it's like,
yeah, so no one's seen. If in case you haven't seen it out here, this is the back of Joe's boat. He's got the Joe. Thank you for correcting me. They're called rudders, and so I feel a little bit felt a little bit stupid not knowing that, but I feel better now that I've been corrected out here. But yeah, we've got Joe's boat here on there when it's showing Joe, and look, this must have been a recent picture. He was out there wade fishing. And he's got the American flag on there with his the dog on there. So it's just a cool looking rudder, man. It's just really cool. So really cool. So
Your wife's calling you out here, Victor. Because Victor, I'm not okay with you doing any trios.
yeah, not on a Thursday night. So it's maybe on a Saturday. So but yeah, let's check up on Fred here. Let's just go ahead and call him and see if he's back at his desk now, or back at he is. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and dial him in like that. When he's ready to come in, he can come in. And not to saying that Victor is not.
I don't know why Victor's touching his chest, but
I had something right here. I was just getting it out.
Oh yeah, you're getting.
your wife's gonna get mad that you're doing trios over here, touching your chest.
It's still there, man. It's still there. So you definitely don't have it. So. But yeah, man. So I'm actually looking forward to it. One of the things I really enjoy about going fishing is the kind of the prep work that goes in with it. So I have my rods and my reel. I have one rod here and trying to get my stuff ready.
What kind of rods do you use, bro?
What kind of rod? A blue one, a pink one. So yeah, a little bit of that. So, but actually I have the rods I have are some of the first ones that I built, and I tell that to people all the time. A lot of people get discouraged about like, hey, I don't want to build an expensive rod or buy expensive components and build a rod that's not going to that I'm going to mess it up. A lot of people fear that. And what I tell people, man, is like, look at the rods I'm fishing with. And granted, I have several rods, and I have some rods that I want to lend out to people as well too. But the main rods that I'm using is probably the third one that I built, and this was as many years ago. And it's built on a great blank, and it looks pretty crappy. You can tell that I wasn't selling rods at that time. It was just me kind of building and playing around with stuff and glue and epoxies, and that's what I ended up with. And so you can definitely tell it was built by a novice. But I mean, I've caught a lot of fish on it, and I really think that a lot of people can build probably better rods than their first ones. We had a rod building class late last year, and Gaetano, man, like the rod he built was better than
That was nice.
Yeah, the rod that he built on his first time was better than it took me a year. And some people just have that natural ability, that attention to detail, and they can follow that. So anybody that's interested and just like, hey, like or has that I want to build a rod but I don't want to screw it up, trust me, it's hard to screw it up. And yeah, there's a few things that are gonna kind of diminish performance on there, and aesthetics obviously aren't going to be there, but functionally it's going to work well, and it's going to last you. And focus on getting good components, good blank. That's where it all starts, and then the rest of it, I mean, it's a learning experience. And if you do mess it up, you just knock it down and start all over again. So it's not a big deal.
Jacob asked me to ask you all if he's able to make a rod even if he's got little short hands and little thumbs and little fingers.
It's actually better.
Well, no, but
actually better.
Jacobs are fat though, so it's kind. I think it's
Uh,
it's hard. They're little stubs.
like my wife says, you have sausages for fingers.
That would
Man,
be.
one time Jacob was making a fist, and I thought he had a freaking boxing glove on. I was like, "Is that a mitten, bro? What do you have? It's my hand, Wayne."
But he wasn't making a fist. He just had it open.
He was just like this.
Yeah.
Hey, he can't throw the finger to anybody, bro.
Where is Jacob? He was supposed to be on here.
Yeah.
He's gonna be pissed at you.
Yeah, he's not like he's probably there waiting in a suit and tie now, and there he is right there, Jacob. He's it looks like he's on. Jacob, are you presentable?
God damn! I made this drink too strong. Oh.
All right. Let me. That was Fred. He said he is ready to go. Let me dial in.
All right, guys. Well, I'm gonna get out because I know that my truck's a little loud, and I'm gonna be getting home in a little bit. But I'll watch you all, man.
All right, man.
You got it,
All right, bud. We'll talk soon. All right, bye. And then there was 2. Oh, that was pretty cool. And then there will be 3. And then there will be 4. So, we've got Mr.
Hello,
Fred.
in,
hold
Jacob.
on, he's right here. Hold on.
He's running around, huh?
He's getting his.
Hold on, guys. Sorry.
No worries, Fred. We are getting we'll get you.
There's a voice.
Yeah, there it is. Right, you can hear it now. So.
Okay, hold on. I'm coming.
All right. We got you. We
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we've been hyping.
yeah.
We've been hyping you up, man. People are pretty excited. So that's what we've been talking about.
I'm sorry. I was one of the things about doing what I do. Okay, can you see me?
Not yet.
Not
but
yet.
Let's see if it comes through here. You may have to change one of your cameras. I know we talked a little bit earlier on Skype, and you were able to.
Well, like my technical director has left me for a little bit. Hold on.
You're-
Baby, they can't see me on camera. Give me 1 minute, guys. Hold on.
You got it.
Hold the
All
curtain.
right.
Hold the curtain. I'm the Wizard of the Oz. Hold on.
All right. So,
Show on camera.
Then your camera.
uh,
Okay,
Joe Saturday.
camera. Can y'all see
we
now?
can
Yes, ma'am.
see now. We can definitely see now. And let me. We're jockeying,
Lost you.
jockeying around. We
Did-
go. There,
Can y'all hear?
I
Can y'all hear?
I can
Yeah.
hear you and see you now. Yep. And I think I.
Can y'all hear now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, we
can hear and see you.
Okay, he'll be right here. Okay, good. He's right here. Okay, baby.
got
There
me?
he is.
We are good. There, we got it, man.
Hold on. I'm getting there. I'm a little older than you guys, okay?
Oh, it's not.
There we go. I'm a little older than you guys, so you guys with this new technology. When I first started fishing, shit, we were talking out of
He'll be
CB
right
radio.
here. Oh, okay, good. He's right here. Okay, baby.
We can hear him now, so yeah, he's
Can you
good.
see me?
We sure can.
There
Yeah,
he is.
we are good. There, we got it, man.
Hold on.
I'm getting some
I'm
back.
getting there. I'm a little older than you guys, okay?
Oh, it's not.
There we go. I'm a little older than you guys, so
Hold on, I'm getting
guys
some,
with this
some
new
reverb
technology.
here.
When I first started fishing, shit, we were talking out of.
All right, sorry about that. I think we're good now. Here, let me. Fred, can you hear us all right there?
I can hear you. I'm
Yeah.
fine.
All right, good deal. So, yeah, we were getting a little bit of an echo there, but I didn't think it was Jacob. But welcome, man. Thanks for coming on here and doing that. So you were talking about when you first started fishing. You were when was that?
Yeah. Well, let me take you back in a long time ago when I was in junior high, and that
Oh.
was back in. So everybody will know. Okay, I know I don't look my age, but I know for some of the guys that are out there and that are, that are on pro staffs, this and doing that. I'm twice their age. Okay, but let me tell you what, guys, age really doesn't matter. Okay, you can have. You just gotta put your heart into it, whatever you want, and then you work for it, and you get there. But when I first started fishing, I was like a little kid, like everybody else, fishing from the canal banks, where I grew up in Harlingen, Texas. And I used to steal some of the masa from the arena that my mom would make, and we'd go catch carp. And I was like Huckleberry Finn. And we used to fish with the cane pole and one hook,
and we'd be there from like 8 in the morning till noon. And back then there was no communication, so we knew when we got hungry we had to go home.
Yeah, that's how you
So
do.
then, as life went on, as far as fishing and stuff, we went into high school and you meet buddies there, and then we'd tear off and we'd go surf fishing, and then we'd go wade fishing in Port Isabel, Laguna Vista, in front of the high school there in Port Isabel, a bunch of Holly Beach and all that wade fishing stuff.
Yeah.
That's how it all started. I remember going out of Arroyo City, I think, when I was probably on a boat, and it was probably a 13-foot Dargle scooter with a 30 Suzuki. It was my first boat ride.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that was at Arroyo,
And
you said, right?
we went. That was out of Arroyo City, and that was probably, I think, in 1979. 1979, when I was 19 years old.
Oh, wow.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm 60 years old, guys.
Yeah.
41 years of fishing the bay here, and people ask me, "Well, you got any fishing spots?" And I've been fishing 41 years in the Lower Laguna Madre. I fished from here all the way up to Louisiana, all the Texas coast.
And you did that as part of being what you did, or you doing a kind of the career you chose, or kind of the path you did, or you just...
as a career in the Texas Sportsman, which started out in 1994. I'll speed up. In 1994 is when I got my show started. In 1994, with my partner.
How did that happen?
How that happened?
What were you guys thinking? Like, what was going through your mind?
That was with. It started with my buddy Clark Ortiz. Okay, Clark Ortiz, good buddy of mine. He's a pastor. He pastors now in Far, Texas, and it's at the center. Honey, get the name of that church, please. Get the name of the church at Clark's Church. Look it up on Facebook. Clark Ortiz and Lisa Ortiz, they got me started on the South Texas Sportsman.
Okay.
Because my background was selling cars. That's what I was doing. I used to sell cars. I was this car salesman. So he said, well, he goes, you want to do an outdoor TV show, fishing? And I go, yeah, well, what do we do? He goes, well, I got all the TV equipment, okay, and you know how to sell, okay. Yeah, the name of the church there for my buddy he's a senior pastor at Center Church in Far, Texas. I just wanted to give him a plug, and you guys make sure you go to church on Sunday. Go see it. Okay. So anyways, that's how we got started, Sam. I went and got sponsors, me being a salesman, okay. I went and got sponsors. I learned how to sell them on sponsorship, 30-second commercials, etc. And then the show just took off. It just took off.
And so, like, what was the pitch? I mean, so what were you selling to the sponsor? Just like, hey, I'm going to go do this, and like, what kind of credibility?
I was selling. It was really. It was. I was an infant and I was a baby. It was a baby show. It was just selling the people. People knew who I was through the car business, and I was going to people like Bogus Ford, A+B Muffler, people that I knew in the Harlingen area, the Rio Grande Valley, way back then. And then the sponsor just started falling in line. And me being in sales, I'm going to get, 20 no's before I get one yes. And that's what you got to do to succeed. And I give God all the glory that this is where I'm at now, okay? Because I keep knocking on the door. I kept giving thanks to God and praying that I have favor with people that I speak to, okay? So you got to have a perseverance, and that's what I did. So I would tell them, look, I'm going to go do a fishing show, and I'm going to talk about fishing, and I'm going to have a guest on it. And I remember Rob Euchre from the Sportsman from San Benito. Mm-hmm. He was one of the first guys that were like, you're going to do what? And then he came aboard, and I put him on TV, and he liked it, and then I teamed up with Bogus Ford, and then I got TechSmart Food Store with my good buddy Harry Urey when he was involved with TechSmart Food Store. Then I got Walmart. Oh my God!
Oh man, yeah.
And it was just like, what? Yeah, and then I got an air conditioning sponsor, and then it just kept going and on, a tire sponsor, and then I was thinking outside the box. Sure, rod and reels, and the original hook, line, and sinker in Harlingen. Okay, when Rip Masters owned it. I'm talking way back when, So that's how it all got started.
And so like when you first start doing it, I mean, so there's some equipment I get, like you need to have a camera and that, but like how are you distributing it? Like now it's easy to distribute content, right? We're doing what we're doing right now. It's just we sit behind a computer, we press record and do that. But when back in the time where you were talking about doing this, it's a lot harder than that. Like where were you pushing your show out to?
Just here in the Rio Grande Valley. Well, I take that back. Going back. Well, let me tell you something. It started in the Rio Grande Valley, and I was on KVEO in 23 Brownsville. I think I was on Sunday mornings at 7:30 in the morning. So it was just aired here in the Rio Grande Valley. We didn't have YouTube back in 1994. If we did, I didn't know about it. Okay, 94, 95 when the show first started 26 years ago. We didn't have YouTube. Like I said, if there was there, I think Yahoo was developed back in 1994. If I'm wrong, somebody can correct me. I'm not always right. But that's how we would do it, Sam. That's how we would distribute the show. Then my partner, Clark Ortiz, being a businessman as he is, I remember we partnered up and we got South Padre Island as a sponsor for a whole year. So
what does that mean? Like the city of South Padre, or is it like someone at South Padre, or like what is like getting South Padre?
South Padre Island Convention Bureau.
Okay.
Okay, because I've learned on South Padre, how they work. It's a city, I believe. I mean, and anybody watching can correct me, send me out notes or whatever, help me. But it's the Chamber of Commerce. Okay, it's the Chamber of Commerce, and then it's the city. I mean, there's two different entities there, but what we did, I believe, we cut the deal with the South Padre Island Convention Center. When they built that big place over there, I believe.
Yeah.
The convention center. Okay, and then we cut a deal, This is when satellite TV was coming out, and see, if you know anything about the Ortizes, they have antennas inside their brain. Because their dad was Pastor Carlos Ortiz, and he was a pastor. He was my pastor in Harlingen, and then they had owned a lot of low power television stations. So this is where I get a lot of my TV knowledge. Okay. So then we cut a deal with A1 Satellite Systems. Okay. So that's what sold the deal to South Padre Island, because now we're coming out on satellite in Pennsylvania, New York, Los Angeles, Chicago, the Texas Sport. Well, back then I was the South Texas Sportsman. Okay. So the show was airing all over these stations back in the 90s, dude.
That's
and
awesome,
I was like, wow. But a lot of people here, in the Valley, didn't know about that stuff, and we did promote it some. I remember we had I think I still have it, a write-up. I'm that old-fashioned. I have the write-up from the newspaper, bro, and I went and laminated it, and I have it in my notebook. My wife says, "You're looking at that again?" Yeah. After I had like 3 or 4 beers and a shot of whiskey or whatever, I go into my little man cave and I start looking at my reminiscent stuff. But it's because I've earned it, bro. I've paid. I hope I have paved the road for a lot of the people that are in the fishing industry now. Just like Bud Rowland showed me how to do it. Yeah. I always, my buddy Bud Rowland, Richard Moore, and Steve Walker, Mr. Vamonos. I used to watch their show and always want to look at the channel marker, or where are those guys fishing? And then my compadre would call me and, "Hey, bro, did you see that marker where they were?" And, because that's how, we would see that. Yeah, I remember that little island, bro, and stuff like that. Now, let me tell you something funny. And I know I'm shooting all over the place here, but
go ahead. That's what we're
talking about GPS systems and tracking and all this bullshit that's out there nowadays. Garmin's and all that. No, but bro, what we would do is, mira, bro, you go down 3 islands, you get to Duncan's house, y le das como, drink a beer, bro. And then after you're done the beer, then go ahead and stop, and then look for the little gallon of Clorox, bro, on a white PVC. Ahí vas a parquear, bro. That's where I'm catching redfish. I'm serious, bro.
It's funny. I mean, I remember growing up, you could quantify a distance by the number of beers.
Yeah.
I remember hearing uncles and like, oh yeah, how long does it take her? About a 6-pack, or
Yeah. But in all, it's there's a lot of questions, man. What do you got a question for me? Go ahead.
No, so obviously, so you definitely, obviously, so you started off kind of doing this in the mid '90s, and you've been running at this so long. So how do you sustain something like that? How do you keep it going and moving forward for that period of time? How do you say, well, how do I continue to make it entertaining and engaging to your audience?
What I like to do is I like to call up guides, fishing guides. And I like to see how they fish, okay? Not only here in the Lower Laguna Madre, but I have ventured off into Corpus Christi with some of the guides over there, and also in Louisiana, Falcon Lake. That's pretty much of where we fish. So I invite these guides to, because I'll learn something from a guide, that's half my age. I don't know everything. Okay, or he goes, hey, have you seen this knot? Have you noticed how you do that? Well, this is why I'm doing this, or this is why I'm doing that. And I keep it entertaining because, what I love to do, and I know you were talking to my wife earlier, and I talked a little bit about this to keep it a little more interesting, is I like to get a point where I'm the guy that does I'm on the rocking chair, and I'm waiting for you guys to come back and tell me about your fishing trip, and then we talk about it, okay? Because I've done those trips. To keep it entertaining is that's why I keep the young guys. I welcome them to come aboard, and I'm helping them get their name out there. And I want their phone to ring. I want people to book a trip with the guides that come on my TV show. I'm not a fishing guide. I don't want to be a fishing guide. People ask me, well, how much do you charge? Well, I'm not a guide, but if they want to be on my TV show, then I can charge them. You can come with me and we can do a TV show, okay? Yeah. And most of the time I have a guide that will take us, and sometimes I'm the person that will take a business owner and they want to be on the TV show because they know that it works and people watch the show. Yep. And it's going to make the phone ring.
Yeah, good deal. So Jacob's asking, what's your favorite area to fish? I mean, you definitely mentioned a lot of places. Basically, most of the West Coast over here, the West Gulf, from Louisiana all the way down to or South Padre, and then even some inland freshwater stuff. So, what's your favorite place to kind of go and get a line in the water?
It depends what we're going to be fishing for and how. Okay, my favorite way of fishing is with the top water. Okay. I love to fish with the top water. I don't care if I get 4 strikes. I gotta be moving my hands. I gotta be moving around. And then when you get that big ass toilet flush where it just goes, and you're like, whoa! And the best time to do it is you be looking at your fishing partner, because that's when you get smacked. That's when you're going to get hit. Because if you're looking at your top water and you get smacked, you're going to want to jerk it right out of its mouth. Okay, but you got to slow down. Okay, so with the top water lure, I would say one of my favorite little honey holes is just north of what we call. This is for the old school guys. I don't know if the young kids know this. Sorry, guys, don't get me wrong. If you're 25, I call you a kid. I'm sorry. It is Horsehead. Y'all know where Horsehead is? next to Rattlesnake Island, Rattlesnake out of Arroyo City. Okay, where that is let's say you come out of the Arroyo, you hang a right, you turn into Marker 4, then you're going into Rattlesnake Island. If you keep going south, you're going to run into Horsehead. That's what I call it, Horsehead. And then you just fish that shoreline. Whether you're wade fishing or you're going to be in your boat, you're going to find some fish in there, redfish. Okay. Top waters, you can be throwing cut mullet, and you can be walking it or cut ballyhoo. You can be throwing anything you want to throw there. You're going to catch some fish there. And of course, Holly Beach. Holly Beach is another little wonder of the bay.
So you definitely, I mean, you fished a lot, you've seen a lot of places. I'm sure you have a lot of stories, right? You said you'd like to one day sit down in your rocking chair and be talking to kids about stories and maybe even sharing some of your stories. So what's probably the craziest thing or the most interesting or memorable experience you've had throughout these years of doing your show?
Oh, I would say one of the most memorable one was we did a show about 6 years ago, me and my wife, and we were in Louisiana, and we were at Hackberry Rod and Gun Club. Okay. And we went fishing there, and we were staying at La Berge there in Lake Charles, Louisiana. And we went fishing with the guide, and we must have caught at least whatever the limit is in Louisiana on flounder.
It's
okay?
a lot. Whatever it is.
It's a lot. Okay. I don't think we hit the limit, but this is the most flounder that we ever caught. It was me, my wife, and the guide. Okay. And I think we had like 12 or 13 flounder. I'm sure with the guide, I wasn't over the limit. Okay. But that was a very nice trip there. We caught a huge redfish over there, fishing out of Lake Calcasieu. That's where we went to, and they have like a jetty. Okay, they have like a jetties, like we have jetties. And I learned from that guy there how he was fishing, and he was fishing with a gulp on a jig head, and he'd let it go all the way down like you go fishing for snapper. Let it go all the way to the bottom, Fred. Let it go all the way to the bottom, and just jig it a little bit. And boom, we're catching 25, 27-inch redfish.
Oh, wow. Deep water?
And that was a good trip there. Deep water. Oh, yeah, it was deep water. Yeah, it was deep water. It was probably like 25 feet there at the tip of the jetties, 30 maybe.
Is that the trip you did with Wanda?
No, not with Wanda. The one we did with Wanda was the one where we went with out of Burris, Louisiana. Okay, with Burris, Louisiana, and that was I can't remember his name now. I did the other one was on the Chandelier Island when we went to the Chandelier Islands. That was 2 years. Yeah, we went to the Chandelier Islands. We stayed up on the jack rig. We did that fishing there. But we've done a total of 3 shows there in Louisiana, and I love every one of them. The people are nice over there, very nice, delicious food.
The Cajun, a lot of spices and a lot of seafood. Yeah. What was your experience at the Chandelier Islands? I mean, I know a lot of people are growing up in the valley, you don't hear about it very much, and then I have several friends kind of on the north side or up here in Houston that just they love it, and whenever they get a chance to go kind of on a getaway type fishing trip, that's where they want to go. So, what was your experience in the Chandelier Islands?
We stayed on what I said on the Chandelier Island. Very nice hosted there by the people there. Dennis Good, and how we fished. I was expecting, like when I used to go fishing in Mexico at Nito's Lodge in the surf. I thought I was going to be fishing like in the surf because you get out there and they have like barrier islands, okay? And it's in the middle of the Gulf. You're 25, 30 miles out in the middle of the Gulf, all right? But coming out of Mississippi and Louisiana where the 2 states meet, then you end up coming back into Louisiana water, okay?
Okay.
you get to what is called the jack rig, like an oil rig, but it's a house out there in the kitchen, and they got like sleeps 20 people, and you can fish at night. And oh my gosh, fishing at night was a fun part too. You see redfish, oversized redfish, and you throw in lures at them. And I think I had my line popped at least 2 or 3 times. My wife had her line popped twice. My nephew had his line popped a couple of times. My wife finally caught a 26-inch redfish on a lure, but on that rig there. How we went fishing, to answer your question, and I'm getting there, okay, is we got on a boat and we went to this island away from, probably 7 miles away from the rig we're at, and we're throwing croaker. And I was like, well, I do this back home. Well, this would be kind of easy. I thought it was going to be different. So we kind of fished the same way. We were fishing the same way. Yeah. And then my wife and my nephew and my niece, they were fishing off of that island. And my nephew caught an oversized redfish. I think it was like a 34, 35-inch redfish on a Kelly Wiggler lure. And but going back to how was it? It was great. But I thought that when I was going to get there, I was going to do more wade fishing, like I was in the surf. But it wasn't like that. It wasn't like that.
It's all deep water for the most part, or is it pretty shallow out there?
Well, off the rig, if you climb off the rig, and there was an island around there where they're at, okay, but I didn't have time to go wade fishing around there. I didn't do it. I mean, you could. Some of the other guys, there were some guys from Houston that went and did that. They caught a few fish. I don't think they killed them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. So that's one of the questions Javier was asking. If how much, it sounds like you did do some wade fishing. Do you still get out there and wade quite frequently, or not anymore, or
in Louisiana?
Well, anywhere, just wade fishing in general.
No, I don't. I don't do as much wade fishing as I did maybe 10 years ago. Okay. It's, I don't know, call me old fashioned or older. I'm getting to the point where, why am I going to get off this $70,000 boat to get in the water? Okay. But, hey, don't get me wrong. I got buddies of mine like Rick Guedetto from Harlingen, who everybody knows Rick in the tournament area. That guy's one heck of a fisherman and a very good friend. That guy will wade from 6 a.m. to 1, 2 p.m. in a tournament, and he'll come back with winning fish. I would bet on that guy.
When you're thinking about, or not thinking, but when you're having these shows, I mean, are you thinking about a general direction you want to go with that particular show, or are you just basically saying, hey, whatever happens, or?
What we like to do, it depends who I'm with, okay, and I'll talk to them before, and like say George Strader, I'll use him as an example, okay, and we promoted him and his popping cork, the STX. And I kind of lead them into it, like, this is what I want to do. I want to talk about you. This is about you, George. This is about your cork. And why are we, and he's very critical about how he teaches, and why are we using 18-inch a rig on the bottom of the cork and not 14 inches? And why are we using the size of the hook? So I try to plan it out that way. Okay, where I let them, I tell them, look, I want you to do this, this, and this, and this. So I'm already, and of course, if we don't have fish, we're not going to have a show, Then I got to go do a cooking segment, which everybody knows I love to cook, okay? And then we stir it that way. But then I would be with, say, Captain John Reese, okay? I learned from Captain John Reese, Big John, that he likes to cut the finger mullet, okay, on the tail, and then put the hook inside the head, comes out, and that's called skip and mullet. It's kind of like a top water lure, but it's not on top. It's about 2 to 3 inches. If you can get that thing 2 to 3 inches under the water surface, that's where you want, and that's where you're going to hook your redfish. And then we do a segment on how are we doing this, how are the techniques, because somebody may be watching the show and they're like, man, I've never seen that. Why did they do that? So I like to, and I learned a long time ago on my show, is because Yeah, anybody can be two bubbas on a boat and go catch fish. But I've gotten to the point in my life where I want to show people, I want to teach people what I know. I want to show you. And another thing is about, new boat owners. Okay, a buddy of mine just bought a boat because he sees so much fun, but he's like, Fred, can you please take me out there? We haven't gotten together yet because of the COVID situation that we're under. And I said, brother, we got to be careful. Not yet. Okay. He goes, I'll wear a mask. I'll get my test done. I said, no, I understand. But what I'm getting at is you also need to know the points of the bay, the mud banks, the sand flats. Don't get hurt. Don't get stuck. Like around the Coast Guard station, a lot of people you hear on Saturday morning, bro, if you're around there and stuff like that, and there's somebody that they don't know where they're going, and then you hear that ming, 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 and they hit the sandbar. Okay. The best time to learn about the bay is going to be in February, or lately, why? Because that's when all the tides go super low, and it's that time of the year, and you see all you get here at Louis' backyard, and you'll see all the low tide, and you'll see all of the mud banks pop out. Well, you're going to go see, like, say, a mile north of the causeway, you're going to see how those mud banks used to be. There used to be mud banks, and how those mud banks were developed was because the Corps Army engineer are the ones that are clearing out the channel, and they dump all the sludge onto those little islands. That's how all those little mud banks came about. Well, there's one there that we call the submarine, because when it's low tide, it seems like the island comes out of the water, and it's like a submarine. It's long. Okay. So then what that teaches you is this, guys. You find out where these little things are. Okay. These little islands, and where you find the drop-offs. So the next time when you remember, hey, there's an island there. Hey, there's going to be a drop-off there. Okay, well, I'm going to be fishing here if I get a north wind, the fish are going to be pushed up against there, or this or that, So you start learning all these little undulations of the bay, okay? And then you go back on those drop-offs and you start fishing your little areas for flounders around the holes, around the shacks, and you see all of that stuff. One of these days, I'm going to write a book, guys.
yeah, definitely. And yeah, so that's actually a really good point. I mean, so it sounds like February. If anyone that's interested in buying a boat, February's the time. It's boat show time. You're probably gonna get the best deal, best price, extended warranties on there, and then you can get in the water, and then the tide's gonna be low, where you can start seeing things and learning. And that was the other part that stood out, right? So you want to learn the bay, not only to fish it well, but to stay safe, right? Just so you're not running into sandbars out there. So it kind of has two aspects of it, being able to do that. Actually, it looks like you may have already sold a few books here, so they're just people are willing to put in some pre-orders here for your books.
I don't have a book yet. I do have a magazine, and I give the magazines away. Everybody knows that. Yeah. Okay.
So it's funny, like we get people come into the shop, man. They talk about buying a boat and so forth, and it's cool to hear them say, like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to go out this weekend," but I've heard more than one say, "I'm just going to go drive the boat because I need to learn, the bay." So like, I think a lot of people need to start just doing that. Just drive for a good month and just drive it, and learn the dangerous parts, more than learning the fishing spots at that point.
I think, and sorry to interrupt you, sir, but I think you're going into a right direction there, and maybe this is something for some of the guides, okay, to have a class, okay, for like 3 new boat owners at a time. I'm going to give you a class on boating. Okay. Let me show you where to go, where not to go, what to look for. And let's not go fishing. No, let me show you how to turn your boat on. Or where not to go. Or look, there's a sandbar over there. Or there's rocks over there. Or you going into South Bay. Olvídate, bro. Then South Bay, oh, that's a zoo by itself. Okay. You better know where you're at in South Bay, especially if you go all the way in the back. Okay, where the oyster reefs are at, okay? Especially if you're going to wade fish over there, you better know what you're doing, bro, or you're going to get all cut up, and you're going to cut your feet, your shins, and all that stuff. You fall down, you're going to cut your hands. Yeah, I've seen it. A bad day. Yeah, but hopefully, guides, I hope some of the guides are watching. Click, turn on the light on, go make some money. show these guys that just bought brand new boats, you know, or maybe make a deal with the boat dealer and say, hey, Johnny, you just bought this boat. Okay, you get one free fishing trip because you bought this, and you're going to go with Captain TJ Reyna, and he's going to show you the ropes. Okay, something like that. I think that would help them.
Yeah, and
no, for sure.
I think you know, one thing that's based on that, I can see kind of the way you mind things. And I think it's really cool just to see, you know, in addition to, you know, this, you're adding value to someone who's just buying a boat. You're keeping them safe, but you're also finding a way for, you know, the fishing guide who to kind of find other ways to bring in, you know, operate their business. So I think it's a win-win-win scenario all the way around out there.
Absolutely. Even these sunset little cruises, man.
Yeah.
You know, when once we get out of this COVID situation, God willing, okay, you know, to do a 2-hour little sunset intimate thing there, and you know, how many people would love to do that?
Yeah.
A lot. Okay. You can do that. I've seen some captains where other people get married on a boat. Or the other day I saw Captain Smiley. He had some guy was proposing. That was beautiful. You know. Yeah, le vamos a decir Pastor Smiley.
he needs to get his marriage license. So it's a proposal.
He's gonna get his deacon's license.
It's his proposal, and then
that's all he needs.
You get married.
I love that guy. He's a cool dude.
So we do have a question here around what's the craziest bait lure you've ever used and been successful with?
You know what? I'll tell you what. It was one that was out of Brownsville. I can't think of the name of it. I was having a hard time catching fish in Corpus. Chihuahuas. What's the name? It was a white lure. What was the name of that lure? Baby, you don't remember the name of that funny lure? No, it's a funny lure. And it was a white one. I can't remember. Some guys from Brownsville made it. I don't know if they're still around. Do you remember these guys I'm trying to think of?
I don't know, but you can use it to say you'll put it in the book, and then, you know, we'll
Yeah, I'll find it. I'll find that lure. But I was fishing with Captain Alan Sifford out of Corpus Christi, and he calls those big old trout over 28 inches. He calls them he's really from East Texas, so he's got that East Texas drawl. He go, Fred, we're gonna go catch some of them big Susies. I go, big Susies? What's that? And I said, I'm married, bro. I ain't gonna catch no Susie. And he goes, no, the big old trout, over 28 inches. I call them big Susie. So I pulled out my white little lure, and we're throwing them off. We're in the, okay, y'all know where Baffin Bay is?
Yeah.
Okay, and let's say we're gonna get to the neck of Baffin Bay, and we're gonna go all the way in the middle. You get in that little canalito there. Now you're gonna be coming out, and when you come out, you're in Port Mansfield.
Yep.
Okay, halfway through that, there's marker there. I'm gonna tell you the marker. Everybody, listen where the marker is. Number 18. Okay. And we caught several big Susies there, and I used my little white lure, and it was a little bitty white. It's a Mexican name. I can't think of the damn name. Okay, but it worked, and I caught my big Susie with it. Yeah, so that was a nice lure. But I've used a lot of lures going back to the crazy days of there's a lot of the old timers like me, the Mel's hooks and lures. Okay, those are to the older guys that started fishing in the late 70s, and these lures it looked like a worm. Okay, it looks like a worm. It was about 6 inches long. It's about the diameter. It was the diameter of, I think, of a pencil. Okay. And it had 2 hooks on it. And you would add a bullet weight on top, so you could toss it. Okay. And those were called Mel's hooks and lures. That was a good lure. Then always caught fish.
Sounds like a bass bait.
It's almost like a bass bait. Yep. It was almost like a bass bait. We used to buy those there in Hook, Line, and Sinker in Harlingen in the early 80s.
So, Joe, if you're watching, you might be willing to bring them back, man. Get them back in the store.
I think Joe Martinez, famous Joe from the Hook Line in Harlingen, may carry those. I'm not sure if they brought them back or not.
Yeah.
I think the cool thing is that you mentioned earlier, and it kind of stuck in my head. You know, you obviously have the same mentality that Bud Rowland has and that Richard Moore had of actually teaching and not just fishing.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget. And I mean, obviously we don't have VHS anymore, but when the big cameras came out, you would carry it on your shoulder. My sister bought one, and I would go to her house, and she had a video of me saying "Tracking Outdoors" or whatever it was with Richard Moore. I'll never forget that line, Richard Moore, the Outdoors, Channel 5, whatever it was. And I'm videoing like birds and stuff. But it was I remember him teaching you like the what to look for when you're hunting and what tracks to look for. And it was awesome. It was awesome to see that, man. And I see your show, and I mean, just teaching people what to do and not keeping everything a big secret, man. It's so cool to watch. And I think that's what makes it successful.
I'm at this point in my life where I want to share. I want to share my knowledge with the young whippersnappers. 20 years old, whatever. You guys, you want to fish, you want to be on TV one day. Hey, go for it. Do it. I've seen. I thank God that I'm still here. I'm doing it. I'm healthy, and I'm making a living out of it. People say, "What do you do?" I said, Well, first of all, I have my wife, who's been my anchor. Okay, she's been my anchor. She's an educator, and she's grown and grown as far as the fishing and the hunting. And now I'm going to be introducing her into the next issue of the Texas Sportsman magazine, and it's called, just so you know, Texas Sportsman Tracking Outdoors magazine. And I had to put that name on it because there was another magazine. There still is, I think, in Texas, based out of Houston. I think it's called Texas Sportsman. Well, mine's Texas Sportsman Tracking Outdoors. Okay? You always got to watch things, how you word stuff, and I don't want to step on anybody's toes. Yeah. And so it's going to be called, I'm trying to call it Cindy's Corner, but I think she's got to come up with some other names, but she loves to fish too. She loves to hunt, and she's going to get more involved with me, and then reaching out to the other ladies out there too that love to fish as well. There's a lot of ladies.
Speaking of which, right now we've got Ruby here, and she's all gung ho. She's down to whatever you want to teach her and get on the water with her. She seems like she's pretty interested in doing that, and she's a great captain, a woman captain out of the Arroyos. So I think you're right. I mean, I think there's kind of this over the last few years, at least, and maybe it's been there for a while. Maybe I just haven't really seen it very much to where it's at now. But I mean, there's a lot of women that are out there on the water and out fishing men in a lot of cases out there too.
Oh, my wife out fishes me all the time. And if Ruby ever wants to, let's go do a show, let's go do it. Okay. Right. And you know what would be lovely is I don't even have to go. Take my wife. You all go do the show. Ruby knows how to talk. Cindy knows how to talk. And the guys don't want to look at me. They want to look at the pretty girls, okay? So let them go do it. I'll just be sitting there at Jim's Pier, okay? I'm ready.
Drinking some beer, having a whiskey, or just hanging out.
Yeah, no, I'll be cooking. I'll have the fajitas ready when y'all roll in. So, yeah, absolutely. Let's do it.
So Ruby seems
Ruby's apparently a pretty big fan because she logged off when you weren't on the show.
Yeah.
And logged right back on when you were on there. So she's a pretty big fan for sure.
Yeah, Ruby has been on the show. It's been probably about 4 years ago, but I'm very proud of Ruby, what she does, what she has become. Very proud of her. She is one that you better watch for, okay? Because she's making her own wakes. She's just, and she's super nice. Okay, so go Ruby. I'm on the Ruby team too.
So we talked about women fishing and how that's kind of trended here, and it's a big change, I'm sure, from 1994 to kind of where we're at now. But what are some other things that you've seen in terms of significant changes in just kind of the fishing community? Whether is the fishing better? Are there more people fishing? What are your general observations?
I would say the equipment on a boat just blows my mind. I mean, shallow stalker, Dargo, Mayak, shallow sport, and on and on and on. I know I missed a couple. Don't get mad at me, but they're all good, great boats. I've been on most all of them. The Ibis, Carolina Skiff. It's the equipment that's on these boats nowadays, dude. I mean, you got 18-inch screens. And it's going to show you where exactly you went like 2 weeks ago, and you want to line up there. No, bro. I'm gonna go down over here to the. At this point here, it took me 30 minutes. I remember I'm using my old compass. I have an old Dargo. Okay, I don't have a brand new boat. Okay, and I kind of line up with the zip line, and I know where I'm at. I go to the dirty water, and I ran into Captain Skipper Mock like 3 weeks ago, and I said, "Hey, where are you going to be fishing?" He told me, blah 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 blah, and I go, "Okay, I'll be out over there too, man. I'm going to be hitting some trout. I think we're going to catch. Oh yeah, you're going to catch some trout, blah blah blah." We did, and then we caught our trout, and then I said, "You know what? Let's go catch some redfish." So I went over to another area, and it's just me and my wife, and having some alone time, and we caught some redfish. It's the hunches where you've gone before. Yeah. Okay, I call my spot, some of them, the land of the giants, where I know where I'm always going to go pull a 27-inch, 28-inch redfish most of the time. I've been in tournaments where I'm like, one time I was with Dr. Sam Garcia. I'll never forget. It was like 2 years ago in the DHR tournament, and he needed to catch a fish, and I said, "Chinga, we didn't have that redfish yet." Sure enough, I said, "Okay, we're going to go to Land of the Giants." And it's Gaswell Flats, just due south of it, southwest. Okay, if anybody's listening southeast, get in that dirty water, go past that area, and you're like, "Here?" "Yeah, here." And sure enough, bro, 27 3/4-inch redfish. I had 30 minutes to make it back to the weigh in. Haul in ass, let's go on my little 150 Yamaha. Let's go. Yeah. And caught the fish. We went in. I think he got third or fourth place, but it's all the excitement. But getting back to what has changed on all these things is the fishing line, the braided lines. Okay. Oh my gosh. I did a show probably 9 years ago with Johnny Watts, I believe. I don't think he's in the oil field business now. Okay. And I had never fished. You're gonna say what? Yeah, 9-10 years ago, bro, with the braided line with croaker. And when he started showing me how to do this, I was like, "Bro, is this illegal or what?" Because you can feel the bite, you can feel the line, and with the braided line instead of the monofilament where it stretches, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh." The next week, I think I went and got 4 of my reels. Give me braided line on all of these. So the equipment, the reels are so much better nowadays. No, but you guys are spoiled. You guys that are been fishing 4 years, us old timers where we grew up with fishing with pin reels, the 430 SS, those were the ones that everybody wanted, the 4300 series. And now I have like 3 of those in my garage, bro, with dust on them. But they're good.
The funny thing is, we talk about it here. Oh, hey, generation right now is spoiled because we have this and that. If history is indication of what's going to happen in the future, we're going to be having the same conversation with our kids and our grandkids. It's like,
yeah,
you guys,
how are they going to be fishing?
Yeah,
how are they going to be fishing, man?
It is.
So.
I mean, the way it's going, it's not going to be fishing anymore. It's they're just going to be sitting back, and the reel and rod's going to do it on its own.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
I think at the end of the day, and I'm a big believer of this. I think there's people fish for a lot of different reasons. Some people, I think a very few percentage of the people fish for the fish, right? To take home and eat fish, right? It's a lot cheaper to go and buy a fish. There's a lot more, whether it's experience of chasing them, hunting them down, or just kind of spending a day outside, a nice day, or just whatever, or being on the water, doing sunset. So you can't take that away, and that's always gonna be there. People are just gonna have that reason, whatever that reason is, to get out there.
Yeah. I'm gonna give you guys a little view of where I'm at, okay? All right. Don't get mad at me, okay?
Not mad, maybe jealous, but
check that out.
There she is.
Oh man.
There she is. There she is.
It looks nice on
Y'all notice that?
Yeah, we sure do. Yeah. So you're gonna try to be out on the water this weekend? It looks like it.
Well, I'll see how I feel in the morning. Yeah, just a little getaway, just me and my wife. And when you told me this was going to happen, I was like, "What? I'm going to be over there?" And I'm like, "Yeah." So it worked out perfect.
Yeah. No, this is good.
It's funny, man.
It just meshes together of where I'm at with you guys.
it's funny where you just, I mean, you learn how to, and I'm not saying I'm old or anything. I'm 38, 39 years old, but it's like, it's funny how you just enjoy being out there. Like I have to now, and I've spoiled myself, I guess. I have to go at least fishing at least once a week. But I don't care if I catch any fish. I guess that's an excuse because I don't catch any fish. But,
That's
you know,
good.
I just literally love going out there, and I tell myself it's to rejuvenate. And and there was times where I would go on a Sunday, and my sister would give me, heck about not going to church, and I just sent her a song that says, "I'd rather be on the lake with my mind on God than at church with my mind on fishing." And
Okay.
and
That's a
it's
good
true,
one.
because you go out there and you literally have conversations with yourself, with God, with whoever you want to, and you come back refreshed. You really do. I mean,
Yeah, and
it's so cool just to be out there.
You can make your peace out there, you know.
Sure.
You can make your peace out there and just talk to him, and that's what it is all about. Follow me and I'll make you fisher of men, and that's on my boat. That is on my boat, and that goes back to the very beginning of my beginning and my foundation. Like I told you when I met, and I started the show with Clark Ortiz. He's a pastor. His dad was a pastor. So I'm not running from God.
Just taking him
Not at all.
And taking him everywhere with you on the water.
I take him everywhere, and I give him all the glory, and this is where I'm at, and it's a blessing. And like I said, my wife I'm so happy that she's here with me, and we get to do this. So all the guides that are out there, I invite you, just shoot me a line, shoot me a text, whatever. If you want to do a show, tell you how it works. Okay, a lot of people say, no, he charges a lot of money. Just give me a call. Okay, I'm here for you. I have sponsors. Okay, if you want to do something like what I do, you want to add stuff, you want to get more customers for your business, brother, I have a magazine, I have a TV show. I don't do it all on my own. God has blessed me with all this stuff, and it's just the relationship that you build with people.
Absolutely.
Okay, that's what you got to be.
It always comes down to people, that relationship that you have with people, and what kind of person and how you treat people is what it comes down to.
Yeah.
So what's next for you? So I mean, you've been doing the show for quite a while now.
26 years. I did the math.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you, there's a little hiccup in the from the start to finish, and I'm going to share this so everybody will know. In '94, I ran my show to 2001. When 911 hit, New York City, I was in the car business, and I was on the tail end of my show. And then when that hit, my sponsors just started falling like flies. So I stuck to the grind. I stayed what I did. I stayed in the car business. And then one day in 2008, I came home, and I'm home at 5 o'clock, and my wife gets home and she says, "What are you doing home? You're supposed to be selling cars. What are you doing, Fred?" And I said, "Honey, I've had it. I'm going back into my TV business. I'm going to do my TV show." And she didn't know that I already had two sponsors that were corporate sponsors. And I kind of knew what I was doing. And she says, "Ay, Federico," that's my real name. "Ay, Federico, I hope you know what you're doing." And I go, "Well, 12 years later, brother, we're doing it. And God has blessed me with this and her." And I just stuck it. And it's just like, have you ever heard the story about the guy that invented Hershey chocolate and Kentucky Fried Chicken? All those guys have, Babe Ruth, all those guys have in common, they failed. They failed so many times. Okay, I was in sales so much. No was my best friend. I'd always hear no, and then finally one guy says yes. Oh my gosh, and that's all it took. So you got to be persistent. So how many more years am I going to do this? It's like a doctor, man. It's like a dentist. It's like, as long as I'm healthy, as long as I still have the sponsors, and people come aboard and they're happy with me, and I produce, and they get the phones to ring, and they're making money, they're happy. Okay, they're happy. So I don't know, maybe 5 years, maybe 10 years. I don't know. I don't put a number on it. If there's anybody there watching that wants to be like Fred Rodriguez, Sportsman Jr. or whatever, give me a call. I'll show you what it takes.
Yep.
What you got to do.
Yeah, and I think that model applies to whatever it is you do in life. You talked about it in the context of having a show, but whatever it is you want to do in life. But if you want to accomplish anything, you're going to fail, and you've got to continue to persevere and push through that and become better and work hard and put in that grind. And whether you want to sell T-shirts or sell fishing trips or sell fishing rods or anything, whatever it is you want to do, hard work is the fundamental normalizing across all the being successful.
Whether you're selling tires or air conditioners or whatever.
Yeah.
You said it best. I mean, as long as you're happy and successful, obviously, and I think Sam said this many times, is, you can measure it by happiness as well. And, we had, I'm going to name drop here because it was a pretty cool moment to have Bud Rowland come into the shop today and pick up his rods.
There you go.
The guy's happy. And you can tell because the first thing he comes in, he's like, Fabian, where you at? Have you gone fishing yet? That's the first thing he asked me. And it's like, the guy's 85 or 84 years old, and he's enjoying life to its fullest. And It's like, that's success. I mean, the guy is successful, and the guy has made, so much happiness in himself. And
we're yeah, he is. He's an amazing guy. And we're he's a little older than me, but I'm still waiting. He owes me a fishing trip. And around October, he goes, Fred, October's the favorite time when I love to go fishing. And I said, okay, bud, I'm waiting. So, and 1 year he did call me. I think it was 2 years ago, and I'm sitting in a deer blind. Okay. And it's like November, and he's like, hey man, it's perfect tomorrow. Can you go hunting? And I said, go fishing, but I can. I'm at the ranch and I have some clients. I can't get away. So he did call me. Okay, he did invite me, but he goes, when we go fishing, we're not going with your spinning cast. No. We're gonna go fly fishing.
Have you done much fly fishing?
I have not done a lot, but let me tell you a little story. I was taught by Chico Fernandez, the great legend, Chico Fernandez. Look him up about fly fishing. He taught me how to fly fish at a little shop here in South Padre Island back in the mid '90s. The very next day, I went fishing with Captain Terry Neal, may he rest in peace. He was out of Port Mansfield, and we did a TV show. I did a TV show with Captain Terry Neal. I was trying to fly fish. I thought I was. I didn't catch anything, but Terry caught his redfish, his trout. I don't know if he caught a flounder, but I know he caught his trout. And I was just happy I didn't hook the damn hook in my ear.
That was a win. Yeah, it was successful.
Yeah, but like I said, hey guys, I don't know everything. I do have a trip coming up. I'm very excited about. I'm gonna get his name is Ram Reyes out of Zapata, Texas. Okay, Texas Wild, or he's gonna get mad at me. I don't think he's watching. I don't know. He may be. But Ram, we're gonna go fishing for our alligator gar.
Wow,
in Zapata.
Nice.
Okay.
Cool.
I love to go fishing out there in Falcon Lake. I know a few guides. Captain Jared Lee, he's also a Border Patrol. We did a fishing show over there on crappie. That guy, talk about technology, Sam. Okay, Fabian, listen to this. You talk about a screen. This guy had a 22-inch screen on his bass boat. Okay, and then. Wait for it. We're crappie fishing, right? So he knew exactly where to go to this little stick, and he goes, "Okay, I'm gonna turn it on." No, but bro, it looked like Pac-Man, bro. His screen. There were little fish everywhere, and then he goes, "Okay, drop your line." You drop the lure. It goes down, and you see the little monito going down. He goes, "Go! Stop! Okay, now jig it." And I jig it, and you're like playing a video game. And then there comes the fish. It's coming up. If you don't believe me, go to my YouTube channel, check the show out, Fishing with Captain Jared Lee, and
check it out, yeah.
Oh my! Everybody's gonna go look right now because it's there, okay? And that guy loves to fish and he's good about it.
Very good.
So love to fish all kind of fishing, man.
Very good.
And I went fishing one time. I will say one more thing. With he used to be the police chief in FAR, Mr. Viescas. And we did a show with the city of FAR because the city of FAR is one of my sponsors, and we're promoting the fishing tournament they're having in honor of raising money for the Boys and Girls Club. So I'm fishing and I caught a 17-inch trout, bro, and croaker right at the mouth of the arroyo, and the chief is looking at me like, this guy's smiling. He's all excited. And so he turns to me and he goes, Fred, you get so excited when you catch a fish. And you're smiling. And I said, Chief, the day that I stop smiling and laughing when I'm catching the fish is the day I stay home.
Yeah.
I said, I love to fish. Whether I'm going to keep it, sometimes I catch big fish, big 28, 29-inch trout, and we release them, and then people will say, why did you release that fish last week? Because my grandkids like to fish too, okay? And your children too, so let's plan it back. Like 34-inch redfish, stuff like that, how many of those do you need? Come on, okay? So, anyways, conserve.
Yeah, definitely. I think was it Wayne Davis said it best. It was you got to make more deposits than you do withdrawals out in the bay.
There you go. That's a good one.
That was a pretty cool line that he said the other day, and it's true. It's true.
Yeah.
Good deal. Well,
Wayne, if you're listening, I use it was Kelly Wigglers. Gotta have it.
There we go. I was waiting for it. We got it. We gotta have it. So we were waiting.
We'll be right back right after this. You're watching the Texas Sportsman Track and Outdoors. There you go.
There you go.
That's my radio voice.
I can tell it's a little bit different here. It's like it's very
it's with authority.
Yeah, I was gonna say I need to practice on that. That's what I'll start working on practicing.
Come on, you gotta stay with. You gotta stay with me, guys. You're watching the Texas Sportsman Track and Outdoors. Gotta have it.
You're watching Texas. I'm sorry, I got a little bit distracted.
I got my wife. Can you do it, Fabian? Can you do it?
Oh heck no! I forgot most of it already. I gotta have it. I remember that part.
There you go. You're watching. Man, one time we went quail hunting. We were doing a quail hunting show, and they had this old man from Houston. And I say, he was like 75, but he was. We're quail hunting. Quail hunting is my passion, brother. That's awesome. The best. I love quail hunting. And nothing like no. Quail hunting with dogs, my favorite. That's my wife. You're listening. She's right here. You want to give me a trip? That's what I want.
If you're listening.
She's right there. She's right there.
Write it down.
Yeah. So we've gone. I don't know what his name was. I said, sir, can you do something for me? And can you say you're watching the Texas Sportsman Track and Outdoors? Got to have it. You talk about cut ups or what do you call it, bloopers? Yeah. Oh, you're watching the Sportsman channel. Yeah. He did it. You're watching Texas Outdoors.
You might need
You're watching the Texas Boys. Or he got it so many cut ups, man. He never got it right. Yeah. But what it is laughing. And that's what fishing's about too, man, is getting with your friends, your family, having a good time, and then talking about the one that got away. In fact, I had, of course, one always gets away. We did a snapper trip on the Miss Mona recently with Captain Adam Ambris, and I didn't catch very many red snappers. It was my wife and my guest, my sponsor from Atlas Air Conditioning and Electrical Plumbing, Sarah and her husband, Marty Hammond.
Oh, my God. A boy right there.
There you go, Coach Hammond. Okay.
Yeah.
There you go. And so we did a show, man, and they were catching. What was I calling those? They're trophy red snappers, bro. They're huge. I calling them lunkers. Mira otro lunker, the Atlas, man. They were big. And then I had one. I got one, and then bing, my line popped. And they all go, "What happened, Fran?" I go, "Shut up." The line cut. The line got popped, bro. It just popped.
Have you seen our latest shirt?
No, I haven't.
It says you can't measure almost.
That's a good one.
So
that's a good one.
Hey, has that show aired with Marty?
Yes, it did, and now it's on YouTube. Yep, it's it already aired, and now you can see it on YouTube.
Well, I actually have your shows recorded, so I'll go back and watch.
Yeah, go back and check it out. And
I gotta make fun of. Was Marty on there?
Marty was on there, and Sarah was on there. Yeah. They're. I go, what you got there? And he goes, oh, it's a big one. And then we would say, we'll see you like in 5 minutes. We'll see you in 10 minutes. Nombre con Sarah, nombre, estamos riendo. I said, Sarah, are you okay? And I'm having a blast. And nombre, she was trying to pull out that, it's a big. They're like 28, 30-inch red snappers, bro. Just look at the show. Wow. It was great.
Check it out. So.
But I need to go see you on those shirts, though. We need to get some shirts for the Texas Sportsman.
Good deal, man.
You
Well,
got it.
we definitely appreciate you spending some time here. I know you're getting away and trying to spend some time with your wife here, so appreciate the time you spent with us and chatting us up here. And it seems that like Fabian hung out with, got to talk to you, talk to Bud, and so maybe we may try to do something once all this COVID stuff is over and try to figure out what we can do to kind of do a bit of a reunion type thing and just figure, like, Fred was talking about some things that some of the people that he hangs out with and doing that, and so we'll see if we can make that
Absolutely.
happen. We'll see if we can make something like that happen, Fabian. Yep. So
That would be great, guys. Well, thank you so much for having me. It's been my honor to be with you guys, and anybody that's watching. Y'all stay safe. Wear your mask, please. And I don't want to get in arguments about that, but I know a lot of doctors, brother, and wash your hands and be safe and pray. End it like that. Okay.
Right.
So thank you all so much, and God bless you.
all right,
Thank
thanks
you.
a lot, Fred. Okay, all right. Goodbye.
Okay. Bye-bye.